Good evening, everybody. I'm Pixie from Planet Pixie. I plan weddings and events with a difference. If you are watching along, please feel free to say hello, drop us a comment, let us know you're watching. If you are watching on the replay, hashtag replay. I am joined this evening by Aria from FeteStall Attractions. Good evening.
Hi. I enjoyed that countdown.
Yes, I quite like it. Gives people a chance to know we're here. But
I would just like it all the time.
I'd
like it to get out of bed in the morning. I'd like it on my kettle. I could introduce
30-second countdown is not long enough to get out of bed to.
No, I think I'd need like a good 10-minute one.
10 minutes is not long enough to get out of bed to.
But it just got louder and more obnoxious.
It does, yes, it does a little bit.
That would be good. I'd quite like that.
A little bit. Sometimes though, when I'm waiting on here, it does feel like a really long 30 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, when I'm waiting for it to count down.
Oh yeah, because then you just sort of start watching it, aren't you? Well, already distracted. We're like 30 seconds in and we're already not talking about weddings.
It's the 30 seconds that got us distracted. Oh, well, never mind. So tell us about what you do.
Yeah, so we are I keep saying fate. What are we? FeteStall Attraction. Yeah, we are garden games. Well, some garden games, but then sort of giant outdoor 6-foot extravagant games.
So I have had a nosy. You have one called Rocket Launch. It looks like a giant kaplunk.
Not a kaplunk.
What is it? How does it work?
It would effectively works the same, but we're not allowed to use that name.
Is this trademarked, is it? Whoopsies.
Yes, the name is trademarked. The name is, and I think the swirly thing at the bottom is, but the middle stuff we're all right with.
Oh, okay.
But for all intents and purposes, it does work exactly like that.
It works like that old game we used to play as children.
It looks really familiar to something. Do you know what? I don't know what it looks like.
Well, you didn't say it, I did. They can come for me. That's fine. So what are the you look like you've got a bowling one. How big is that?
About 6 foot long as well. 6 foot long, and it's about. See, I'm using feet because my dad uses feet. He made them, but let's talk in meters.
I still talk in feet as well.
Oh, it's about 6 foot long, about 3 or 4 meters tall. So it's off the ground. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's cool. I kind of want to shoot some ducks too.
That one gets really competitive.
I can imagine.
You're throwing a beanbag. It does really it's like that animal instinct. You see people just hurling beanbags.
I can imagine that, I think I would throw them and miss, and then get more and more angry and throw them harder and harder.
Yeah, and then miss more. I find that with all of our games. I think all of our games, people just get weirdly competitive.
I can imagine.
Particularly, we found if brides or grooms put them near the bar, then people will play them when they have a drink. They'll go get their drink and then they'll come back, and then they'll wander off, and then they'll play before they get their drink, and then before you know it, you've got a group of people just stood playing the same game for 3 hours.
To win something.
At wedding fairs, we used to put up sort of a high score of the day, but once a young lad, I think he was about 4 years old, got the highest score ever. But for the rest of the day, fully grown men were just determined to beat the 6-year-old. So we had to stop doing the high scores because.
What game was that?
It was we call it Plinko pinball. So you sort of pull a lever back, and then the ball shoots up, and it sort of drops down into pockets. But there's holes. It's like an old. I think it's like a modern version of a game called Bagatelle, I think. But we find that one gets really competitive, and it does at wedding venues, wedding fairs. So no high scores.
Yes, I can imagine. So how did you get into gathering all of these? How did you get into this as a business and getting all these games?
So I got married about 3.5 years ago, and I was on the phone to my mum. I really struggled when I first planned my wedding because I went to the big wedding fairs. And like you walk in and there's like a big Rimmel London sign, there's a weight loss sign, there's a whiten your teeth. And I was like, this is not me. And I think I panicked. And Mum said, well, what do you want? And I was like, I just want fun.
Good day.
And we settled on garden games. And I went on eBay, as you do. And we looked at like small wooden ones, so like ring toss, like, and my dad went, that's not good value. I can make that with a bit of MDF. He's like, I can make that for half the price. And I was like, well, fine.
That's a standard dad answer, isn't it?
Yeah, that was, but he just got a bit carried away. So I expected sort of 5 or 6 garden games, and then come my wedding day, he'd made these giant 6-foot things, which were just incredible. Like, honestly, it was just my dad who got carried away. Like, he went on Pinterest, or Pininterest as he still calls it after 5 years.
Dangerous scrolling.
Yeah, and he just saw them and just decided to top them, yeah. And like on our wedding day, people had so much fun with them. Like, people just thought they were the absolute best. So then afterwards, we're like, well, what are we going to do with all of these? So yeah, we thought, well, our guests liked them, let's have a go.
Yes, yeah. So did you have all of these games that are on your website? Obviously, I'm saying that able to see them, other people can't. But did you have all of these, or have you kind of grown your collection as you go?
We've added, I think, 3 or 4, and retired some of them because they just took too long to sort of set up and take down. But basically, Yara had all of them.
So I was going to answer this question a little bit later on, but I'm going to ask it now because it seems to fit. Which one is your favourite?
I quite like the rocket launch. There's something quite, it's pulling the sticks out. It's quite satisfying. Yeah, I think our most popular one, I think, is the gonks, the ones with like the faces on them. We find kids just quite like that. Yeah, I think that's our most popular one.
It does. Although danger of being taken over by competitive adults, it does seem like a great way to keep the kids entertained if you can keep those adults away.
Yeah, I find the kids play for like an hour, and then they don't get bored of it, but they're like, okay, on to the next thing. Whereas it's adults who I don't know, it's
the need to succeed.
Weird. It's the need to succeed, and they just have so much fun. Because I don't know, sometimes weddings can be, this can sound awful. Sometimes weddings
can be boring.
Sometimes they can be so boring. There's like a lot of waiting around, but there's something about, I think they work because we hire them out all day. So they're there before your ceremony. We take them down about 10 at night. So they're there just all day. And I do find that it does give people something to do in those natural lulls. Yeah,
definitely. I think people are being a lot more aware of that now as well. I see a lot more of people, you know, what traditions do we still feel we need to stick to? What traditions are a load of rubbish? And what can we do to kind of fill those gaps? Because I think people are looking more now just to a day where you get married and you have a great time with the people in your life, as opposed to going through that whole formal malarkey. Fair enough, that's still all right for some people, but probably not the people watching my page, so that's all right. So what kind of events do you usually do then? Is it mainly weddings that you do?
Weddings and sort of work parties. Summer parties are so much fun. I love doing a summer party. Because I think, again, some people like me the thought of like a Christmas party or works Christmas do just fills me with absolute dread. But then you turn up and there's like a massive duck you can throw stuff at. Suddenly it's a lot more fun. So I really enjoy doing like corporate.
You should maybe get some like little picture frames that you can put over the ducks' faces and like put, you know, off to put the MD's face and stuff in. Not that, you know, let's just like not think that my MD will ever see this. Was it, you know, it's not a suggestion that stems from anything, you know, it just
my dad works for a care home as well, and he takes them in every year for their summer fete. So that's always like a highlight of our year as well, because it's the residents and the staff and all of their families. So that's really fun as well. That's one of our favourite ones. I was still forward to that one. Yeah.
It does sound like a good one to do. So what kind of venues? Are there types of venues you are better than others for them? What should people consider venue-wise?
So it's funny you say that. We've not come across a venue that won't have us yet. I think some venues that have lovely sort of decorative things on the wall may suggest that we go outside. But we've been to all sorts. We've done the barns, we've done the fields, and then we've been to quite chic places. We've done a few at sort of Nailcut Hall and Kumabi, and I think an Anstey Hotel as well. I think they're
the other day.
Yeah, they're our favourite places, I think, because I like them there. But no, we turn up everywhere.
I presume weather-wise, you need to be careful if you're outside?
Yeah, so it rains. So we always say, if you've chosen games to go outside and it's going to rain on your wedding day, give us a call the day before and we'll swap things around for you. So if you've got all the big, massive outside ones, then it chucks it down with rain, we'll happily swap for a table football or something that can go inside, because you can't help the weather, can you?
Sadly not. We don't live in the sunniest of countries, even in the 2 weeks of summer that we may or may not get.
And I enjoy that 2 weeks of summer and end up sunburned for a good 6 weeks after. So
yeah, I never used to tan, and then when I did catch a tan, I'm always more concerned about my partner and making sure he's covered in sun cream. So this year we went out, slightly off topic, we went out, I'd made sure he was covered in sun cream, kind of forgot about myself. Went out on my birthday for a kick around the park, because obviously we couldn't do a fat let out this year, could we? Came home, I'd only burnt all my face.
Perpetually sunburnt nose in the summer.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. It never used to happen, and then once it happens all the time, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, never mind. Anyway, how much space do people need to consider for these games?
So obviously the big games, some of them are 6 foot by 6 foot. So obviously you're going to need that space and a good couple of meters either side of each game. A, to play them, and B, for sort of safety reasons. I don't want anybody being hit with a rogue anything. But then we have like a range of different size games. So we do have one package of games that fits in the boot of any car. It's so diddy. So that can fit in a nice small corner as well. So we've got a game for every size venue. Mainly because we just got carried away making them rather than we actually thought through the logistics of it.
Yes, I can relate. So you said packages there. How do you structure your packages? So
at the minute, we have a small package, which is sort of like 8 small games that you'd think of. So we've got like a quoits, a Jenga. When you think of like classic lawn games, that's in that package. And then we have what we call our medium package, which is 4 medium games. We call them medium, they're massive. And then we have our large game. So that is the duck shoot, the big old one, and the rocket launch. So we sort of split them out by size into our different packages, but people mix and match all the time. People just say, can I have that one, that one, that one? We're like, yeah, sure. Ship it in the van.
We'll work that out. So is there anything else that people should consider when thinking about getting things from you other than perhaps weather and space?
Yeah, I would say, I think that one of my pet hates in the wedding industry is hire period. Like, I found that sort of photo booths and other games will only hire your games for sort of like a set amount of time. So you get like 2 hours or 3 hours, and then I think plan it. But I mean, for us, you get them all day. So I think almost you have to anticipate our games are going to be a distraction. So
yes, if you've got a photo booth that's only there for 2 hours, maybe don't have the game there, and then people decide after that 2 hours that it's time to use the booth.
Also, if you are going to have our games, maybe get your important photos done first. So have the photo with your mum and your dad, and then let everybody know, because otherwise your poor photographer is going to be running around shouting, has anybody seen the bride and groom's mum? But yeah, we are a bit of a distraction, but I think we're a good distraction. Like, we're a good distraction, but yeah.
And also, if I'm there, don't let me throw a beanbag, because if it's before the photos, the groom may end up with a black eye, even if he was behind me.
People always think that I'm going to be really good at these games. I'm utterly useless.
I'm terrible. I'm one of these people that would go to throw something forward and it'd end up behind me.
I've done that bowling once.
Oh, that sounds like it could have hurt someone.
It didn't hurt anybody, thankfully.
Oh dear, I'm competitive, but I'm rubbish at the same time.
That describes me. And because I'm so rubbish, I get annoyed about how rubbish I am. And then I'm like, I can do this, but I can't.
I get competitive and want to win, but then if I win, I feel bad because somebody else lost. So I can't win either way, so I don't know what I play.
Also, I've just played this for 20 minutes and I look bonkers.
That's my standard look. I wouldn't worry. So where I notice you're based in Coventry. Where do you cover? Where
we generally say the Midlands. As long as we can get there in the van in a reasonable amount of time, or if there's a good place we can stop for food on the way, we're happy. We're happy. As long as there's a good loo and some food, we are happy to travel.
That sounds like a good logic to me.
Get in the van, put the radio on, we're good. I say we. My dad does the deliveries and sets them all up. So I'm using the royal we here. I really mean he. He does the heavy lifting.
Your dad's done a lot of this, hasn't he?
Yeah, but in my defence, he was still texting in capital letters until about 2 years ago. So the thought of him trying to use email, I was just like, no, let me handle that.
We've all got our different skill sets, and if he can build games like those, I think
we can use Google Drive now. Google Drive is a revelation, so yeah.
Oh, even I don't bother with that. That's fine. So, before we sign off, where can people find you? Where can people follow and connect with you online?
So we are on Facebook and Instagram. It's really bad. I've forgotten my handles. I think we're at FeteStall. We're at FeteStall Attraction, but I think you can probably safely say if you search FeteStall Attraction, we're probably the only people who are going to pop up.
I think you are, from when I searched earlier, to be fair. So fabulous. Thank you for joining me. We perhaps need to get something next time you're perhaps at a fair or something. We'll have to come along and have a play.
We have, I'm going to be honest, the best Ferris wheel in the industry. I'm slightly biased, but it's massive.
Not at all.
It's massive, and it circles and each individual character. So yeah, we always have sweets. We have like an unhealthy amount of sweets and chocolate with us at all times. So yeah, come say hello, get some sweets.
We'll maybe have to come find you at a wedding fair or something like that, and maybe go live, show everybody a few of your games, let people see them in action.
I was going to say we could have it go, but I think that would be the lowest stakes sports.
It might get a few more views though. People like watching
one of us accidentally injures each other and we end up.
It sounds like it'd get far more views than if we were good at it.
Yeah. Might make my insurance go up though, but no, yes, we do a lot of wedding fairs, so come.
We'll find some kind of, I don't know, we'll sign some kind of get out clause. I'll bring a good concealer for the inevitable black eyes.
I love doing wedding fairs. Like, I feel like you can almost see it. People walk into the venue and then they spot us. And then that's it. They will not go to any other, particularly men. I've noticed that's it. They zoom, it's like hone in on us. And their partners will be taking them around to all the stores. They'll just be there staring at rocket launch. And the excitement when they finally get over to us. And I'm like, do you want to have a go?
In my experience of wedding fairs, they want to grab a piece of cake, grab a sample of ice cream, and go to something cool like
you have to go
game
to a booth,
or a photo booth or a silent disco or something that isn't exactly the same as all the other schools they saw, or all the other wedding fairs that their future missus has dragged them to. So I can imagine that you are. But and if they feel like that at a fair, have it at the wedding.
Yeah, our couples though, we can always tell a FeteStall couple because they just arrive at the stall and that's it. You don't have to say anything to them. You don't even have to introduce yourself. You can just see in their faces. They're like, yeah, we're having this at our wedding. It's just there and it's the best feeling.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. Right, so thank you for joining me. I'm just going to pop you backstage, as it's referred to, and I'll be with you momentarily. So thank you for watching along, everybody. If you catch us on the replay, like I say, #replay, feel free to ask us any questions and I or Aria will be happy to answer. Join me next week as I am joined by Rebecca from White Rose Ceremonies. Thank you for joining me and good evening.